All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's open forum. We have a very low turnout today, which is mixed with Independence Day and goals. Those are two ways to keep the attendance down. Nobody likes to be held accountable for their goals, and so I always get low attendance for that, which is great. Um, but it's fine. Those of you who are here are serious and interested in finishing out the year strong, getting ready for next year, etc. We are almost exactly halfway through the year, and let's go with part two of our goals for 2025. So, um, maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago, we went over your goals. We did the SMART goal setting. You guys know about SMART goals. Um, Hopefully, some of you have some. I mean, the attendance is very low, so some of you probably have some of your goals. Some of you know some off the top of your head. Some of you have been thinking about it but didn't write them down yet. Um, Maybe today will help you write them down. Maybe today will help you realize the most important thing is how to get there. So having goals is one thing, accomplishing them is another, but doing what's necessary day by day to get there is what's the most important, because that's the thing that people don't do. A lot of people have goals. A lot of people have goals in mind. Some people write them down and still don't accomplish them. And the most important thing is accomplishing them, right? So what we're going to talk about today is what I always tell you guys is most important is breaking it down to what am I doing today to reach my goals? I think a lot of us have goals and they're great goals and they're based on what we did in previous years or what we think we can do this year, but we don't know how to get there. And sometimes you just need to know what to do. What should I be doing today? Right? So day by day, what do I need to do to get to my goals? Some of you have sold lots of homes before. In 2021, you sold 30 homes, which was great, right? But that was also 2021, and we're down 40% from 2021. Okay, as a whole, the industry. So, what are we doing to keep reaching our numbers? And I mean, some of you sold 5 homes. Some of you just want to sell 3 homes this year. Some of you just want to, I know some of you guys have jobs, full-time jobs, and you just want to do a little bit of extra. So, what do we need to do to get there? I have been sharing with you guys some very powerful stuff from AI. I've been sharing with you guys how it breaks it down better than I can do. So I'm going to share a little bit of something with you right now. And these are just examples because I don't know what your goals are. Let's get somebody first, one person brave enough to share one of their goals for this year. Yes, Fong, we are all, well, you can't hear me say this, but somebody please answer in the chat that the sound is working for the rest of us. I see you guys nodding along, so you are hearing me. What, does anybody have one goal that they're doing? I don't care if it's to host a certain amount of open houses, if it's to do anything. I don't care if it's to walk a mile on the treadmill every day. Any kind of goal.
I've got one.
Yes, Brian.
Yeah, so my goal is to live my best year ever. And of course, that encompasses business, life, family, friends, clients, etc. And I like that one because it's a perpetual goal. It doesn't end. So that's my goal every year. Because a lot of times when you reach your goal, you're like, what now? And that's where a lot of people get stuck.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So give me one portion of that. You say, your family, your health, your this, your that. Give me your health portion. What do you want to do? Are you looking to lose weight, get in better cardiovascular shape? What are you looking to do?
Yes, both of those exactly. Both of those.
Okay.
So I've done a lot of extra medical checkups, and my day begins with me walking the 7 Mile Bridge. Now I don't walk 7 miles; I walk 5. But so that's one of my exercise routines on that front. And then as far as business goals is to have my best year ever there. And my best year, my gross was about 1.2. So I'm going to try to do that this year.
Okay. So those of you who don't know, Brian does, he is historically specialized in commercial retail, selling large retail properties, some vacant land, et cetera. So he means 1.2 in actual commissions. So that's awesome. what specifically, what are you doing toward any of those goals? Whatever you want to say. You said the thing about doctor's appointments, et cetera. But what about the actual the day-to-day stuff? What are you doing?
I'm getting smarter about the prospecting and more targeted prospecting. So right now, what we're doing, I've actually got a meeting on Saturday with the Bronsons, and I know you know who they are, and the Monstiokas. So what I'm doing now is I'm helping with these conservation easement 1031 exchanges. Now, if I can get involved in the sale of the easement, that's great. But right now, I'm focused on helping these guys because I've done that in the past with some of the big ranchers, and they've been very happy. And so, focused on um, contacting those folks and building relationships with those folks, and
Great,
using the folks that I've helped that they know in the past for that referral system.
great. How many calls are you making every day?
Probably 15, not as many as I should,
Okay.
and the challenge with that is a lot of the folks I'm talking to, we end up talking for half an hour, maybe longer. And so there's only so many half hours in a day, you know?
Okay. So what I'd like to see you do then is, and that's quality. I mean, the more relationship you're building, great. And we're, most of the people on this call are residential agents, and they would love to spend a half hour with somebody on the phone. So when the longer you spend, the farther you're getting, you're building relationships and getting information that you need. So instead of I'm going to make 15 calls, if you think, you said you do 15 and you wish you could do 20, instead of I'm going to make 20 calls a day, how about I'm going to spend 3 hours a day on the phone or 4 hours a day on the phone or whatever.
With the best prospects, not just those guys who will talk to anybody, because if those folks who are going to talk to just anybody, that's what they're going to do, is they're going to talk to just anybody.
Right. So, but you know how to get off the phone on that. So, yeah. So set aside a certain amount of time that you're going to spend on the phone. And do a goal that way, because obviously the number of phone calls doesn't matter as much as the quality. So do it that way. And that goes for everybody. By the way, guys, if you're, I like better to set aside a certain, the same time every day, or, 2 hours on Tuesday morning and 2 hours on Wednesday afternoon and 2 hours on Thursday morning, whatever you do, whatever times, and make it, 10 to 12 or whatever it's going to be, because you're going to get some good conversations. And so we're not just trying to burn up phone numbers. We're trying to go and have talks with people like what Brian's talking about. So that's great. And it's he's in a different market, but it's the same, but it's all the same. Everybody has the same challenges. He can get people on the phone. He's got, his people are a little bit different, a little more serious about what they're doing than a lot of the home buyers, potential home buyers or home sellers who aren't, sure what they're going to be doing. So it's a whole different thing. And what he's offering is a little bit unique. But the rest of you guys have 20 phone calls to make every day, and 3 of them are going to answer the phone. So it's a little more difficult, but you've got to make the phone calls. You've got to spend the time doing it, and you might make 30 phone calls, or you might only make 8 phone calls if you talk to a few people. So,
yeah, one of our other goals is to try to reach new clients, mm-hmm. and we're trying to figure out some better ways of doing that, because it seems now emails aren't getting answered, texts don't get answered, the phones don't get answered. It's really, I'm not complaining, it's a challenge, and we want to beat it. We want to figure it out. Mm-hmm. So we've looked at some tools like SlyDial and things like that leave ringless voicemails. Mm-hmm. Just any kind of strategic way to get in front of these folks, because I think it's becoming, with AI, it's a great thing. I love it, but it's making it real easy for people to blast out a bunch of everything. And I think a lot of folks and things are shutting down, due to the spam and everything else. Right. So if anybody can tell me, because I really admire the residential agents, because the tech in residential is so much more advanced than it is in commercial. And I've learned from a few friends that I have, that are doing residential. So I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. I mean, that's one of the challenges, and that's a goal, that's oriented with one of the goals is greater outreach and greater new relationships.
Right. So yeah, there used to be apps for your phone. I'm not sure. Gigi just posted in the chat to check the laws on the ringless voicemail. I'm not sure what those are. Brian, I'd like to, one thing you mentioned it, all the big landowners know the other ones and all that stuff. A great thing you can do is drop somebody's name. And I know you know these guys well. And if you spend 30 minutes on the phone with somebody and you want to make sure they're serious, and you say, hey, do you know anybody else might be in your situation? And do you mind if I drop your name? Because if I use your name, because that's what's going to get you calls back. That's what's going to get you responses. We get so many, and Brian, I don't think you're not a member of NAR, but if you were, you'd get 10 more texts every day for healthcare. You would.
I still get those.
You still get those, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And everybody who says they're a flipper and everybody who's got a potential flip property. I mean, I get 50 texts a day that are nonsense. Not nonsense. People doing that. Some of them are probably scams. Some of them, definitely 10 of them are healthcare people.
I get a voicemail every day from a guy out in California who wants to loan me money.
Yeah.
And it's alive. It's not automated. It's a live dude. I've got to admire him for perseverance, but he fills up my voicemail.
Yeah. So there you go. So there's a lot of stuff out there. There is a lot of competition. And this is where referrals, you have to be able to ask for people's business. You're going to starve if you're not able to ask for people's business. And asking for their business is also sometimes asking them if they know anybody that could use your service.
So in this case, Ryan, we have a list. We know everybody who's been approved and who's under contract for conservation easements. We've even got the contracts.
Right.
So that's who we're reaching out to.
But if you could drop somebody's name and say, hey, I've been working with so-and-so.
Oh, Mr. yeah, Brunson, absolutely. That's what I do. And my introduction email mentions all those
but if you're going to
legacy
spam,
ranchers
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And a lot of these ranchers aren't email guys.
True.
So, and even if they are, it's going to spam and they'll never even look in their spam file. So it's, you're right. It is a challenge, and spam rules have taken the exact reason. There's been a lot more spam rules in Alaska. They did the Can Spam Act or Can-Am Spam Act or something like that, where they forced Gmail and Yahoo and all these people to be much more stringent on spam. And they will suspend your account, et cetera. So, and definitely put stuff right into spam. So that is a challenge. And that's a challenge everybody has with email marketing. And you're right. Everybody's flooded with it. Everybody creates rules for their Gmail or their Outlook or whatever they have to clean up their box, because you'll never get anything done if you just let people get your 1,000 emails a day. So a lot of it's going to spam. And I bet a lot of yours is, just because if they don't know you, it kind of goes to spam, So it's got to be phone calls, and it's got to be leaving voicemails. And, I don't think you're making enough calls to worry about ringless voicemail right now. Maybe you are. I think you can actually just go to voicemail. That's what I would recommend you to do, and drop names. Say, we're working with Mr. So-and-so and Mrs. So-and-so.
Yeah, we were doing the ringless for efficiency purposes, but I mean, you're right. It's better to talk to them live, because they're gonna share more with you in a live conversation than they are in email or over text. It's surprising what people, will talk about.
Yeah. And we're working with so many people in your area. Even if you can't get a name, we're working with several people in your area. You can use their name, even if they didn't say he said to call you. Maybe they don't know each other, but they know of each other. Or we're doing 1,200 acres down the street, or, whatever it is. So, let's move on. Thank you, Brian, for sharing that. I appreciate that. Anybody have any other goals that they have that they want to share? Maybe you're halfway to it. Maybe you're not yet. Whatever it is. I'll show you what I did. Not for myself, but for the purpose of this class. I talked to an agent yesterday who is just starting out, and she has a job, and she wants to start out part-time. She doesn't have a lot of money. She has a job. She wants to start selling, at least she's going to do some leasing with our company. If you guys are interested in that, let us know. But she wants to do this. And I told her, you know what I would do? We have a hard time getting people to take open houses for whatever reason. We have a lot of you guys asking if someone will work an open house, and we're having a hard time getting people to do it. So what I'm told her was, get on our FRI agent page, let people know you'll work open houses. And she'd be happy to do that, by the way. So if you have an open house anywhere, Kissimmee, Poinciana, even Polk County, wherever it is, that area, South Orlando, she'll be happy to work those for you. But she wants to focus on open houses. So I asked AI, what are my steps? This is what I would tell her to put into AI. What are my steps? Please be as detailed as possible. Act like I don't know anything, right? So it goes into all this stuff. And it is great stuff. And you can ask it to do whatever you want it to do. Say, tell me more about the email campaigns. Tell me more about this. Do you have scripts for your email campaigns? Let's ask it. Please give me, I know it has it. I always ask it, please. All right, below are detailed email campaign scripted, tailored for your open house strategies. A realtor aiming to sell 10 more houses this year. That's just a number I gave it. And here's the scripts for it. That pretty easy and cool, or what? Somebody give me a thumbs up if you understand that and you think it's pretty easy. Awesome. Thank you, Carolina. So yeah, thank you, Tammy. It is pretty easy. That was a thumbs down, Tammy, but thank you. It was pretty easy. Don't wreck your car. It's pretty easy, right? So thank you, everybody. How easy is this? How can Grok help? Please help me with a script for my Facebook and Instagram. I guess I wouldn't really do Instagram script, but here we go. Tailored script for your Facebook and Instagram. So there you go. There's your social media too. You guys are always worried about content, social media. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. Guys, it's this easy. You just have to do it. And you just have to do it. I love that I'm talking to the 24 people who came in here on Independence Day week and for a goal session. You guys are my hardcore people, and I appreciate that. And I would love for you guys to look, it's still going. How many of these do you want? It'll give you as many as you want. It says use Canva or Instagram. Guys, Michelle will help you with that. Michelle Machado will help you with that stuff. If you need stuff for your social media, she's our marketing coordinator. She'll help you with that stuff. It's really good and easy stuff. So for her, not so much for me. But look, it's nice and easy. And it's so cheap and sometimes free. That's the beauty of this stuff. It can be absolutely free for you. Get a lender, get a title company, get somebody, one of your, what we call our team, the people who keep begging you for your business, get them to co-brand with you on this, and they will pay for the stuff. Okay. It's that easy. It really, I say it's that easy. You have to do it, but it's easy to find out what to do now. It didn't used to be this easy. I didn't used to, 5 years ago, I didn't used to do all this stuff for you guys. I can't do all this stuff that AI can do. Look at it writing all this stuff for you. I never want to hear about what do I put on social media, because it's all right here. They got all the content that you need right here. You got to put the pictures of the house in and the details. That's it. It gives you, how do you get people to, what is the best way to get customers to attend and sign in? it keeps pulling all the stuff I told it before too. So if you ever wanted to forget something you told it before, like a different scenario, you have to do that. And it's giving you all this stuff. So yeah, there's the door knocking, 20 to 30 nearby homes, 3 to 5 days prior with personal invites. That's a great way to talk to people. Guys, you need a reason to knock on somebody's door, right? Other than to tell them you're a realtor. They know 1,000 realtors. You need a reason to knock on their door and something to offer them. And, oh, you guys want to come down? Just check it out. You know, this is all kinds of cool stuff here. So there you go. But whatever your goal is, I just put, I want to sell 10 more houses this year. And then I got into the details of how I want to do it. And the only way I did it was the free stuff that I told I want to do open houses, right? But there's all kinds of different ways. We've been over a lot of stuff in here before, including how to buy leads. What's the best leads? What's the best return on investment for leads, etc. You guys can do this at your house. This is grok.com. There is openai.com, which is ChatGPT. You can use whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Okay. Any questions on that? Nobody, huh? Okay, good. Any other questions you guys have for anything with our brokerage? Yes, Malvis.
Okay, not related to goals.
That's fine.
Okay. Because I failed at them so far. It's embarrassing, but I did. I'm gonna try to do better. But anyway, the form licensee interested on property, is that form to be used when you are representing the sellers only or the buyers as well?
If it's your interest in the property, you're buying or selling?
No, I'm helping my son.
Helping your son?
My son buy. My son is trying to buy.
But you're not, you don't have any financial interest in it? You don't have anything in it?
I do not, other than helping him with my commission.
That's not a financial, that's not.
I am not in the loan. I am not co-signing. I am not doing anything. No.
You're not co-signing. You're not doing anything. You are just go ahead and tell them in an email, I'm helping my son buy this. But otherwise, there's no.
The form is not actually needed.
Correct. It's not you or your husband. It's not anyone financial. You have no financial part of it, and no one in your household does. I mean, if your son still lives with you, but he's going to be moving out, then you're fine. And I'm normally for over disclosing, but you don't have to disclose that.
Okay.
If it's your sister, your cousin, your mother, and you're grown, and whatever, if you don't have anything to do with it, that's fine. If it's your husband, yes.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
Okay. Just wanted that clarification. Thank you, Ryan.
You bet. But I, mention it to them. It's fine. Put it in writing, put it in a text or an email or whatever. Just by the way, the buyer's my son. You don't have to disclose it anywhere else. Natalie.
Good morning, Ryan. Hey, I have a listing that I'm going to take in January because they just don't want to put it on the market. It won't be ready until probably September. They didn't want it to go stale, sit on the market over the holidays. Mm-hmm. I can't, I've seen, I'm a member of a Facebook group page called Off Market Listings. Mm-hmm. Could I put that in there, or technically I can't advertise until it's in the MLS?
No, they can sign a non-MLS thing. You don't have to put a property on the MLS.
Okay, so I could still market it
on Facebook, yes. Within that group, yeah. I wouldn't put it. Yeah, you can market it, but they're signing a form that says they don't want it on MLS.
Okay, but we are going to put it on the MLS.
Right, but it's off for a certain amount of time.
Okay, and is the form in our paperless pipeline?
It's in transaction. No, it's in.
Form
we might have it on paperless pipeline, but it's a MLS form. You get it off MLS. MLS exclusion. It's called MLS exclusion.
MLS exclusion, and then I could go and flip it in January and put it on the MLS.
Correct.
But I can't advertise it I can't put a sign out.
But you need to put it under, you need to list it right now, though. It needs to be your listing.
Right. It's not ready yet.
Okay.
But when it is in like September, October, I could just verbally call agents, tell them about it.
Yeah.
Okay. No signage, no open house.
No.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else have a question? Yes, Christina.
Hey, I thought it was, I missed the webinar. I know Stellar had a webinar about the new, I don't know what the new guidelines are. There's some new thing in terms of delayed MLS. I thought, because I read the NAR stuff where it's like the clear cooperation, I thought that we could only like, email. We couldn't even post it in the FRI Facebook if it was like an off market or a delayed MLS listing.
Yeah.
And did anybody, what's the new guidelines, by the way?
That's the way I understand it is that you can. I'll have to check up on it, but I understand that you can. She's got till September, October, but I understand that you can, and you definitely can call people and tell them about it. But I understand that you can. I don't. I'll find out.
Okay. Did anybody watch that Stellar webinar?
I didn't know about it.
Yeah, there's some new, like, I guess, there's some new status where it's like a delayed MLS thing for sellers that don't want to be in the MLS, but I have to catch up on it.
Okay. I'll look into that too. Thank you. Any other questions? All right, guys. This was a short one. You guys didn't share any goals, but if you have any, if you guys have anything to share, now's the time. I appreciate you guys coming out on July 4th week, and we'll go at it again. Goals. Nobody likes goals. I know, but
I came in late. What did I miss for the, like, we're doing?
Nobody shared their goals, but we broke down how to. We talked about how to make your goals, how to take your goals and make them because we talked about 3 weeks ago about goal setting, SMART goals. And we talked today about how to break them down into what to actually do, because you get paralyzed if you have a goal and you're not getting there and you don't know how to do it day by day by day. And so we talked about taking a step towards your goals every day. Is what I'm doing today bringing me to my goals? What can I do today to get me closer to my goals? And that's what you guys have to figure out. And since you guys didn't share specifics, we can't really do that. But if you want, I want to sell 10 more houses this year using open houses as my main thing. And so we did all of this. It wrote all kinds of stuff for us. I just used AI for it because that is the best way to break it down nowadays. So you break it down to daily actions. What am I going to do today? And you have to have the drive to do it. And like my invitation to this meeting said, if you want independence from financial worries, this is the kind of thing you need to do. And I know that you guys have financial worries, and that we all do, right? That's why we're here trying to grow our business financially, to reach our goals for our family, for whatever our drive is, or whatever our why is. That's why we're here. And so what I want to do is be able to draw that bridge from your why to your how. How are you going to get there? And you can absolutely do it. You can break it down into daily actions that you need to get there. So are there any of you trying to transition to trying to just get started up? Where are you guys? I know some of you guys, and you've been on here before and you've talked about what you do, and I know how much business you do and stuff for the most part. Is there anybody in this call who's just trying to get started? Anybody just trying to get started, trying to grow some business? I mean, maybe you've been in the business for a long time, but you haven't been doing much and you want to get started growing it. I mean, all of you guys want to do better. You wouldn't be in this call right now. You got better things to do. But anybody just trying to get started in the business? Okay, Sandy. Would you like to ask a question, or do you just raising your hand to say you're just trying to get started in the business?
Yeah, hi. I am raising my hand. I'm trying to get myself started in the business, and working on some goals to laterally move into real estate. So just wanted to share that I'm open to open houses. You mentioned to go to your buyer page. How would I access the buyer page?
What do you mean by buyer page?
When you mentioned earlier, you said when you're looking to do open houses and you want to share with anyone who has
FRI agents page, our agents page, FRI agents.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So welcome, by the way, welcome to FRI Sandy. Sandy, some of you guys know Mandy. Mandy's been in here many times. This is her sister. And welcome to FRI. It's good to have you. She just joined us. So yeah, this is where I would honestly, I'll get in here. The same thing. Oh, there's Mandy. So the same thing that that I just did. It would be a great way to do it. How to get into open houses. There's lots of people lately. For some reason, Sandy, we used to have people always wanting to work open houses, and now for some reason that the market's tight, less people want to work open houses. It's really weird. Fewer people. So, yeah. So it's put in there that you want to work some open houses with the kind of areas that you want to work, et cetera. I don't know where you're going to be, your farm area or anything right now. And for those of you who are new, and the young lady I talked to yesterday who is new and was interested in open houses, I told her, maybe for the first time, find somebody who's doing an open house with FRI. And we can tell you some people who have open houses going on and stuff, who are actually working their own open houses, and ask to tag along one day. And tag along, if you've never done an open house, tag along. Of course, in your case, your sister knows how to do it. But tag along and see what they do. And then next time you do it. And you do it for whomever, and learn how to get buyer leads from that. You rarely, you guys know open houses. Those of you who are newer, open houses rarely sell the house necessarily that they're held in. It makes sellers happy that you're in there working and trying to sell their house. There's some agent satisfaction that comes from that on the listing side. But you're hoping to find buyers because a buyer will come in and say, "Boy, this house is perfect if it had one more bedroom." Oh, you guys are looking in this neighborhood for a little bit bigger house. I could let you know any other neighborhood you're interested in, blah, 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 blah. And the next thing you know, you've got them on an auto email and you're showing them houses. That's the ideal, right? So that's how the open house thing works. It is very low cost. It is, and Mandy can tell you, I'm sure she's done some co-branded open houses before. You bring in your favorite lender, you bring in your favorite title company, whatever you do, and you co-brand with them. It's a really good, it impresses the seller. It helps you find new buyers, et cetera. So open houses are great. It's a great way to get started. Another great way to get started, and you can ask AI how to get started too. What's the best way, the cheapest way, the most cost efficient way, I would say, to get started in real estate, and it'll give you that as well. One thing I'll tell you is know your new home builds. Go on, you can go on weekends, you can go whenever you want, but if you have time during the week, that's what I really suggest because they're not as busy. Go buy, all the new home builds in Lake Nona or whatever area you're in, right? And you go buy the new places, talk to the people in the office, the salespeople, drive around, have them show you what lots are available, and go out there and talk about the lots and show this one backs up to a conservation area, this one backs up to a nice pond, and this one does this and that. Look, it's close to the amenities. Look at the amenities in this place, and you just do a little video. It's great business. That's how you get people excited and get people interested, and that's how you boost your brand. That's how you do all that stuff for no cost. So right. It's all inexpensive and cost efficient ways to do this while you have a job or you have whatever income that you have that allows you to do this. The number one reason realtors fail is they don't have enough money saved up to make it through their first struggling year and a half, right? 93% fail in the first 18 months. And the reason is because they don't have enough money, or if you have the ability to do it part-time while you're growing, we have people, some of our best agents, one of them was in this call, I don't know if she still is, had another job while she was getting started, and now she does fantastic. So, and that story is probably true for a bunch of you, but I just know that one about her. So I know Malvis has had a job the whole time she's been here, and she does great. It's an advantage to be able to do that. So, some people say, oh, it's a hindrance, but it's actually an advantage, because if you quit your job and you have, $50,000 saved up to live off of, it's not going to last you. You've got to get, especially in this market, you've got to keep your job and do this stuff on the side while you can, and you will grow a business. And if your goal is to transition into real estate, it's a great gig, then that's what you should do. That's awesome. And we'd love to help you every step of the way.
Great. Thank you, Ryan.
You bet. Mandy.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
I've obviously been living under a rock for the past few months. I have a question in regards to open houses. Are we still having these buyers sign in?
Yeah, if you can. They don't have to. So if it's your listing, they don't have to sign the buyer brokerage agreement or anything to see your listing. And
well, you know how we did like we would always have a sign-in sheet. So
you should still
have them sign in. But that's
for business, Mandy. That's not a requirement. That's just for good business.
Okay.
That's just to get their information. I mean, like it's always been. Nothing about open houses has really changed.
Okay. And then as far as going deep dive into questions about the house in particular, do we have to defer them back to their agent?
No, they came in there. If they say they have an agent, they've signed a buyer brokerage agreement, you help them to whatever extent you want. You want to sell the house. So you help them to whatever extent you can to sell your house. And if they're interested in it, say, contact Christina and have her send over an offer.
Don't contact me.
Whoever the realtor is. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Do what?
I said, don't contact. I thought you meant if they didn't have an agent.
No, if they don't have an agent, then you can. And so in that case, I was going to tell you the only thing that's changed. So you get somebody off the street, right? No agent. They come in and they're like, "Man, we love this house. This is a 1 in 100. I love this house and I want to buy this house." Will you put in an offer? You say, "Oh, well, I'll write up an offer." You haven't signed anything with anybody? No, we haven't talked to a realtor. Okay, well, I'll write up an offer for you. And when you do that, you include a showing agreement with it. So, or buyer brokerage agreement if they'll sign that. But with the offer, you do a showing agreement, which is different from the buyer brokerage agreement. The buyer brokerage agreement is about, you are my client for X amount of time. There's a time list on there, right? The showing agreement is, you are my client for these houses, whichever houses I list on there. And if they just came in your open house, obviously it would just be that house. So you're my client on 123 Oak Street, and they sign that when they sign the offer to submit to the seller.
Okay.
All right. You don't have to have them sign it to show it to them, but if you're going to write an offer on it, have them sign it.
Okay. I do have another question in regards to the new construction stuff you were talking about. That's something I absolutely love doing. And I posted some videos on TikTok. They got a great views on it. And my call to action was to DM me Oviedo to get more information. And I did that. And then I noticed, I got a ton of people asking questions, but this is where I get stuck, is they want to know who the builder is, where it's at. And then I just get bypassed and they go directly to the site themselves. So what tactics are what strategies can I use to make sure that they actually, stay in touch with me versus going directly to the builder?
Well, one thing you could do is have them sign a buyer brokerage agreement if you can get them to do that. If not, you register them with a builder.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can register with the builder beforehand.
Yeah. One of the girls that I was chatting with on the DM, she ended up going there the next day, even though she said she wasn't available to go. And then, the builder rep and I put 2 and 2 together and figured, it was her. So I had a bunch of people that responded to that video, and I just,
Okay. So one thing you're not doing, Mandy, and I know this is difficult, especially in this age since last year with the big realtor thing.
Yeah.
Is building value in Mandy. So why should I go with Mandy? They have this thing in their heads that they're going to get a better deal without Mandy, because Mandy's going to make 20 grand off this. Mm-hmm. So I get a better deal without Mandy. I'll get better negotiate. So why should I use Mandy? Why should I drag Mandy there with me? What is she going to do? And I think you need to add things like, my last client here, I saved them a bunch of money on, whatever it was. We got discounted for this. I got them incentives on this and this and this.
Yeah.
things that you negotiated for them. I can negotiate you a better deal, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. Right. True things, obviously, but point them out, brag about Mandy a little bit. You have to build value in Mandy.
Okay.
Because I mean, I see it. Somebody just used you for information, like you were a Facebook friend of theirs, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, I got the best hair done. Look how great my hair is. Oh, where'd you do that? Oh, at the blowout bar or whatever, right? And so they're just going to go there. They're not going to say, even Mandy sent me, right?
Yeah.
They didn't mention that, but you get what I'm saying. It's like they're saying, well, I got a great product. Oh, where'd you get it? Oh, there. So they're not treating you like they're treating you like you're a friend, not a realtor. So you have to build things that I'm the person that can get you the best deal here. Look at the best thing to do is to have some kind of testimonial. Look at the great deal that Bill and Sarah got. If you want to get a deal like this, contact me, kind of thing, right? Bill and Sarah are so excited about their new home. If you want to get a deal like that, contact me. I can show you how you can save X amount of money and blah, 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 right? So I think you've got to add some value to you. You're giving them great information. There's no hook to why they should use you. In fact, they think the opposite. Some of them are going to think the opposite and think, if I take Mandy there, they're going to charge me full boat. But if I tell them I don't have a realtor, maybe they'll give me a couple of dollars off.
Yeah.
So build value of why I should take Mandy.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I know you're busy.
Yeah.
Ann.
Yes. I have 2 open house that I need help. I just post on Facebook if anybody want to help me out.
Awesome. We have a couple.
One is Oviedo. One is close to Lake Nona.
Awesome. I think Sandy would probably be happy to help you out with at least one of those.
Great. But just let you know that last time somebody's willing to do that for me and he's not ready, he's not ready, doesn't have sign and asked me to have a sign. I mean, whoever do the open house should get all that ready.
Right.
Right.
That's the responsibility of the people doing the open house. That's absolutely right. So just to let you guys know, if you haven't done this before, we have open house signs, Florida Realty Investments with the little arrows and all that stuff. They are free to use. We take a deposit in case you don't bring them back, but they're free to use. You get all your deposit back when you bring them back. So contact Solange in the office, sales@flarealtyinvestments.com, and she will set you up with that. But we will take a credit card slip from you. We won't run it unless you don't bring them back in a reasonable amount of time, which we'll work out with you ahead of time. But absolutely in the office. Sandy, I don't know where you live, but Oviedo's or Lake Nona are probably pretty good areas for any of you guys. Kimberly, you have a hand up. Kimberly, are you just excited about the open house? You might be on mute if you're trying to talk. Or you're definitely on mute. I don't know if you're trying to talk. All right. Maybe you put it in chat if that won't work. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody else want to work in open house? Let us know. And stuff is in our FRA agents Facebook page. If you haven't joined that, it's in your welcome email. Click on that. I will let you in. I have to approve you. It is only for our agents. Some of you guys have tried to invite other friends and stuff to it. We don't do that. Only FRA agents.
Ryan, I was able to unmute myself. I'm sorry.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi. I just have a question related to signs. So I'm in the process of preparing for a listing this month, and I guess I needed to order some signs.
Okay.
So when I order the sign, does the office, I guess, administration need to pre-approve the sign?
Okay, so you're going to get your own signs made? We have signs. It's in your welcome email where we keep them and all that stuff. We have them warehoused with. Where's your listing? What areas?
And Mineola.
So okay, fine. So actually, the people who make our signs are in Mineola.
Oh, sounds great.
Yeah, I don't know if you know where that is. It's right on 27. So if you want to get signs made, you can do it there. They'll make them with your name on them or whatever your own name and your own phone number. I recommend that if you can do that.
Okay.
That's actually what I would do. We also have a guy at their warehouse in Orlando. He'll go to Mineola, and we've got a guy there that puts them up on the the yard arms, the big white posts. But those don't have, you would get your own rider, which you can have made from Amazon for a few bucks, or you can go to a local Quick Signs or something like that. But you get your signs made whatever you want. Yes, I will want to proof them. Just make sure they're compliant. And so get your artwork sent to me. I can send you what we have for artwork. And you can just that's what people do typically. I just give them the artwork that we use for our generic company signs, and you can squeeze your name and number on there and take our number off and put your number on.
I would prefer that, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I will send you the artwork for that. Please send me an email and I'll send you the artwork for it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ryan.
All right. You bet. Any other questions or comments before we go? Guys, use this stuff. Use the AI. Use anything you need to do this. And thank you, Carolina. Everybody have a great holiday week. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Make sure you come back with how many ever fingers you started with, that you still have that many on Monday. That would be awesome. You guys take care. Bye, everybody.